former Wallaby, now turned Stan sports commentator, Morgan Turinui is here with us. How are you going, Morgs?
Pretty good, pretty pumped actually. Thanks for having me along. I'll tell you what, how good's technology. I'm here at Suncorp Stadium ready for a test match and we can have a chat about all things Victoria, Melbourne and of course the rugby happening behind me.
Now, you are at Suncorp Stadium. Tell us, what are the conditions like there? Are we in for a good night of footy?
At this stage, it's nice and dry and fast. We're in Perth last week, which looked the same, but it was a little bit greasy. Those people that watched State of Origin and the Wallabies test over there just saw that it was greasy underfoot, but this is hard and fast. And obviously with Brisbane, you never know whether a dark cloud's going to come through with a storm. This is probably the safest part of the northern eastern seaboard at the moment, Suncorp. So it's conducive to the way the Wallabies want to play. England, I think the lesson they've learned is they can't go fast all the way through the 80 minutes against the Wallabies. They need to play stop-start. Yes, speed it up with Marcus Smith when they can, but control set piece, go to more. I think you'll see a really physical England side, but this track definitely suits the Wallabies.
With such a close game in the first game, only 2 points in it, how do you see game 2 playing out?
Oh, I'm a bit worried, to be honest. I can imagine Eddie Jones all week. I think they got beaten to the punch at the breakdown. The Wallabies were smarter and more efficient and very, very much more accurate in what they were doing. England, I think they'll be ready and raring to go. They were probably half a metre off at lots of the contacts. I don't think you'll see that this week. The series is on the line. Eddie's under pressure, and Eddie Jones under pressure is a dangerous beast. I think that forward pack will come out and they'll absolutely just take no prisoners at breakdown time physically. And I think they'll do it with a little bit more discipline than what we saw, say, Johnny Hill come out and give a bit of niggle last week. The Wallabies, look, they'll improve as well. I think 15 on 15, settled team. Yes, there's been lots of changes there, but they've had a lot of time together. So both teams will be better, but I think beware England because they've got to bounce back.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, like you said, there has been a lot of changes. I think there's about 5 changes on the Wallabies side. Do you think that is going to have much of effect on the way that the Wallabies play their game?
I think it's probably the big one is Hunter Paisami in at 13 for Lenny Katau. That's 2 ball runners, Karevi and Paisami, next to each other, going hard and straight into the middle of England. So I think the Wallabies will look to play very much on all the light shows about to start behind me. It could get exciting behind me, so I hope you can hear me. You haven't bought a ticket, and you're getting some free entertainment behind me. But I think those 2 guys in the midfield will be important. Obviously, Melbourne fans will be happy to see Matt Phillip in there. They don't lose anything there, that's for sure. And, of course, Taniela Tupou comes in to replace Alan Alatoa. I think that was expected. A few more Queenslanders in, so the home crowd here will be happy as well.
I'm obviously here in Melbourne, and as a Melbourne Rebels supporter who've had a roller coaster very loud in the background there. Sound testing is on play, so we'll keep going though. But obviously the Rebels ended on a high with that huge win against the Highlanders, and they've got 2 players in the starting lineup, Matt Phillip and Rob Leota. What do you think those 2 Melbourne Rebels players bring to the table?
Well, it's great that Dave Rennie is a big fan of Rob Leota. That he gives something, along with Rob Valentini, obviously, who came through the Victorian system as well. They give something that Dave Rennie's searching for. Matt Phillip brings set-piece expertise. Justin Harrison, as smart an analyst as there is in the game, talked about how good a line-out Matt Phillip ran down at the Rebels, and that was really one of the shining lights of the season. So 2 guys from the Rebels who have really important roles tonight, and obviously the great confidence of the coach. The other, it's probably negative side to it, is Andrew Kellaway picking up a somewhat serious hamstring injury through the week. We may not see him for the rest of the series.
Oh, that's very unfortunate. How much of do you think that's going to have a big impact on the way the whole team plays with Kellaway himself being out?
I think it does, actually, because of the balance in the back 3. Everyone in that room there knows the influence of Marika Koroibete. We've seen it at Mamie Park for so many years. We know the work rate that he has. Andrew Kellaway is accurate and smart and mature and a polished, complete footballer. And that was a really important piece of the back 3 for the Wallabies. If you bring a Jordan Petaia in, it would have been much easier for Jordan Petaia to have the calming influence. I know we're saying this already in his 2nd year of Test rugby. The calming influence of the mature Andrew Kellaway will be missed. In saying that, Tom Wright has been excellent at the Brumbies, of course, and is a quality player. But I think we're all Andrew Kellaway fans.
I mean, game 1, we did see a little bit of on-field drama. We did see Darcy Swain getting that red card, but we also saw what happened in the lead up to that, and an England player getting that reaction and baiting him to that point of what we all seen. So Do you think the Wallabies have a different mindset going into this game and not allowing anything to get under their skin?
I think that's a smart reaction. Don't forget they won the test, and with 3 minutes to go, there were 16 points in front. So it did so well with 14 men. If they can keep their focus on the rugby, and I think it's better for England. If England concentrate on just playing the game physically and smart, then I think everyone will be happy.
And you did touch on Eddie Jones just before, and previously he was the coach of the Wallabies, and he finished up in 2005. Do you think that has any sort of advantage? Obviously, a lot of years have passed, and we're in 2022 now, but does that give him any sort of advantage of how he coaches England to the potential victory of game 2?
Well, I think with Eddie, it's more about that's how long he's been an international coach. He's got so much experience. He's forgotten more than most of us will know about rugby. He'll know the Australian psyche. He is a proud Australian. This is a special night as well for Eddie Jones. The Wallabies run out in their First Nations jersey. The cup's called the Ella Mobbs Cup. Mark Ella was one of Eddie Jones's childhood friends. They started kindergarten together. This is an emotional attachment sort of game for Eddie as well. But first and foremost, he wants England to win. He knows Australia. He knows the way Australians play. And so there's a little bit there. How much of an advantage it is, I don't know. But the other thing to remember is, as I said, he's 20 years an international coach. He's about as formidable an opponent as we can have.
All right, Morgs, well, I've got one last question for you, and I'll let you get off to the game. But score prediction and closest between us both, I'm putting $100 on it. Have we got a deal?
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I should hear your prediction first. I'm happy to have a go. How's that?
All right. I'll go first. England 21, Wallabies 28.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say England are going to win. I thought I'd won already. Yeah, I think there'll be a bit in this. I'm saying 38-30 to the Wallabies. Either way, the series is over. We're all happy. There we go.
Absolutely. We've got a deal.
I'll be down there to get my free drinks at the Bells off you. I can't wait.
Absolutely. There'll be a few beers waiting for you and not $100. Thanks, Morgan.
Thanks, everyone. Enjoy the night.